$30 million for Austin Reaves. Just even in the modern NBA climate where you can play 6 seconds a year and still make 10, 30 feels like a lot to me.
Well, 30 is a lot. Like that, it feels like a lot because it is a lot. I think that says something more about the NBA than it says about Austin Reaves. And like, look, that's nothing against Austin Reaves. I think that the amount of money that is being paid to these NBA players, at least in this current CBA, is astronomical. And I will give Austin Reaves a whole lot of credit. He was eligible to sign an extension just a few months ago. It would have been worth about 80 million over 44 years. And he said, no, I'm good. I'll wait and I'll bet on myself. And now he's eligible for a max contract, which would be about 40 million, obviously projected to be at $30 million a year. And I think the fair conversation here is, and the fair question that's being asked by sports fans is Austin Reaves worth $30 million a year? And to that, I say, you're worth what anybody is willing to pay you. And look, that might sound kind of like a cop-out, but it's true. Because I think the Lakers probably consulted one person and one person only when it came to extending Austin Reaves. Again, potentially, this is just a report about what might happen, not what has happened. I'm sure they went up to Luka Doncic after he signed his max deal that'll keep him in LA for the next few years. And they asked him, do you want Austin Reaves to be here or not? That's at least what I would do if I ran the Lakers. And if Luka says, yes, pay that man, then you know what I'm doing? I am paying that man.
You're right. And look, I want to give Austin a little bit of credit here. He's coming off of a career high in minutes and career high in points, career high in rebounds, career high in assists. Like, if there's ever been a time to pay somebody, he's coming off the year that shows you should be paid. And while the Lakers certainly have underperformed expectations over the course of the last couple of years, how much of that falls on the shoulders of Austin Reaves? Like, he's out there. He's been a spark plug for this team on and on and on, over and over, right? But when we think about Luka, we in general, we think of a big at the rim, right? So there is some element, and I know DeAndre Ayton, they're hoping is that, but man, you're asking for a Herculean lift of Luka if you're asking Luka to suddenly just be able to make any big be that big at the rim. I just wonder how it all pieces together, not to mention the fact that the other thing that we don't, I realize Luka's in the best shape of his life and he looks great and all these things. Do we know yet whether that will actually translate to defensive effort on the court? Because that's the other part of this. Like, you got to make sure whoever else is picking up the slack on that side of the ball. And I just don't know that we know that. So it feels, to your point, $30 million is fine. Modern NBA, that's what guys get. And Austin certainly earned it. But if the other question is it's championship or bust, I have a hard time seeing how $30 million to Austin Reaves truly is the difference-making piece that leads the Lakers to a chip.
And they probably view it like Austin Reaves will be Luka's new Kyrie or new Jalen Brunson that he had, that kind of rub into his Batman that he had in Dallas. But is Austin Reaves Kyrie? Is Austin Reaves Jalen Brunson? Now, look, maybe I'm an Austin Reaves hater, but I don't think so. But if Luka views it that way and you just invested your future into Luka Doncic and he says, I need Austin Reaves beside me in order for this team to be successful, are you going to be the one to tell him no? Because we heard Rob Pelinka say that he views the Lakers as a big three. LeBron, Luka, Austin Reaves. Now, maybe that is so much posturing, and maybe that is stroking the ego of a guy that you want to sign long-term, because frankly, Fitz, I don't view the Lakers as a big three, including Austin Reaves. But I think this is one of these examples where you have to listen to your superstar, that you do not invest your future into Luka Doncic if you're not willing to listen to Luka Doncic. Now, maybe Luka had zero involvement with this decision. I do not know what went on behind closed doors. That's just what I would do.
Look, yes and no. Okay, a couple of things here. Rob Pelinka saying this is the big three shows the antiquated logic of the Lakers, because I don't think big threes win championships anymore. Like, that's what we're not seeing that over and over and over. How do you win a championship right now? A superstar and a ton of depth. And maybe in that sense, if you were selling me, Rob Pelinka, on Luka Doncic is the superstar and we're just going to put a ton of depth, okay, maybe I'm buying that's new roster construction. It just means it might as well get rid of LeBron now and let's stop pretending that anybody else is part of a big three. But the other thing you mentioned that I think is
they
important.
would never do that, though. They'd never move on from LeBron.
Well, they should. I mean, the Lakers right now should say, thanks for your service. We appreciate you. Give LeBron a slap on the ass and move him out the door. Like, it's that. What are we doing? Are we doing a retirement tour for a year? Because this is no longer LeBron's team. They're no longer in specifically win now mode because they don't have to be. They need to be building around Luka for the next 5 to 7 years. That doesn't fit with anything that LeBron wants to do. Like, if LeBron wants to go somewhere and win a championship, that's not going to happen with the Lakers this year. There is no single addition that can be made by the Lakers at this point for this season that I believe will make them better than Oklahoma City. So what are we doing?
But I don't think that's what he wants, LeBron. I think LeBron would rather be a Laker than win a championship. I truly wholeheartedly believe that because I don't think that he would have exercised this last year on his deal rather than going into free agency if he wanted to win a championship. If LeBron was serious about winning a championship, he'd be willing to move back to Cleveland or Indiana or Oklahoma City or San Antonio or any of these other kind of run of the mill cities in the United States. But he's not because he wants to be in LA. He enjoys having a podcast, he enjoys being a celebrity. And at this point in his career, he just enjoys being a Laker. So he can say it all day long, and maybe he really truly does think that he believes that he is staying with the Lakers to win a championship. Frankly, I don't really buy it. But maybe it is a smart move for the Lakers to say, you know what, we're actually building for the future, and what we can get for LeBron is much more valuable to us over the next 3 years versus what LeBron can give us right now. I just don't think that there is a single way in hell, Fitz, not a single way they would actually consider trading LeBron James.
The funny
Doesn't
thing
make it
is,
right. It just
we,
is what
we
it is.
we pick and choose when guys are a distraction. This is what blows my mind. And look, I'm going to get destroyed on social for even implying that LeBron should be moved off the Lakers or for implying that he's a distraction. But good God, like, what can happen this year that won't make LeBron a distraction with Luka, other short of a championship, which neither of us think they're going to win? Everything's just constantly going to be about what's LeBron want, how's it working with Luka, and what's LeBron want over and over again. And at some point, I also want Rob Pelinka to put on his big boy pants and just go run the damn team. Stop listening to LeBron, stop listening to Luka to that level, and just go out and tell us who you are as a team runner. Like, what is the vision of the Lakers that you see? Because we have spent so many years at this point just presuming that every single superstar is getting their way in LA, and that has had good times and bad times. At some point, Palinka's got to come out and make a statement about what the Lakers are, what they're going to be for the next several years, how he thinks a franchise should be built. Because short of that, if every year you're just willy-nilly listening to whichever superstar you buy into, what happens, God forbid, if Luka has some sort of injury and now all of a sudden they got to bring in somebody else and they're going to listen to that guy? Like, at some point, you have to have pillars on how you're going to build your roster yourself.
I think we've gotten to the meat and potatoes question here. What are the Lakers? Like, what are the Lakers? What is the vision for this franchise? What is the vision for this team? Because I think that's been probably the biggest question surrounding the Lakers since they won that championship in the bubble in 2020. They felt identityless. It hasn't felt like the front office has had a true, clear vision for building this team back into being a championship contender. One championship, and even that championship kind of comes with an asterisk. One championship with the duo of LeBron James and Anthony Davis is not good enough. This franchise has fallen way short of expectations over the last few years. I feel like signing Luka at least gives a refreshed perspective of where this team is going, but I still don't have a clear-cut vision, nor has the front office of the Lakers expressed a clear-cut vision for here's how we get back to the mountaintop. I know it's the LA Lakers, and I know it is one of the most, if not the most valuable brands in sports. But at some point, the championships and the winning and the production on the court has to start matching up to that brand.